Now at 6 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, Governor Greg Abbott recommending a pardon for convicted felon Daniel Perry.
Authorities are investigating a domestic violence incident where a woman and her 2 children were shot, one child now dead.
And the White House says they are ready to fight on abortion rights following the Texas judge ruling on abortion pills.
We had a few showers out in the Palacios area today. It's all coming from the northeast. Why is that? Well, we've got this little gathering storm out there. We'll talk about that and take a look at your 7-day forecast coming up.
And the UHV Jaguars finish its 3-game series in Austin. We have the latest in sports.
You're watching 25 News now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker.
And I'm Karina Garcia.
One person transported to the hospital after a 2-vehicle crash this afternoon. A GMC truck going northbound on John Stockbauer struck a Ford going southbound. The Ford, driven by a 38-year-old woman, turned into northbound traffic. Authorities say the person taken to the hospital suffered a head injury but is expected to be okay.
New evidence suggests human remains were once inside the home of a missing 6-year-old Texas boy, Noel Rodriguez Alvarez. Police say a canine specializing in human findings alerted police to a carpet from the shed where the family once lived. It used to be on the spot where the boy's mother paid to install concrete right before the family fled the country. Police haven't found the boy, but the Everman police chief says the concrete is suspicious. The family paid to install it on property they didn't own around the time police learned of the boy's disappearance.
Tuesday afternoon, Hallettsville police was told of a noise that sounded like a gunshot coming from behind Hallettsville High School. As a precaution, the high school and Hallettsville Elementary School were placed on lockdown. After investigation, no threat found and the lockdown was lifted.
And now let's take a look at your forecast with First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Mac Perez. Mac.
Thank you very much, Karina. We are looking at an interesting development. This is it's not a tropical storm, but it is a system developing and producing a lot of rain for Florida. Now, we're on the back side of it, so we had some cloud cover and a few little showers, but nothing to worry about. They won't be around for very long. In fact, we've got some fairly nice dry weather for most of this week, and we'll have all those details coming up in a moment. Stay tuned.
Mac, thank you. Here is the current river flood warning posted for the Crossroads from the National Weather Service. For Victoria and Calhoun counties, a flood warning is in effect until Thursday evening at the Guadalupe River near Bloomington.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott is pushing the state's parole board to recommend a pardon for Daniel Perry.
Just got where KXAN reports Perry's attorney filed a motion Tuesday for a new trial after a jury found Perry guilty of murder last week.
Guilty of the offense of murder.
An Austin jury convicted Daniel Perry on Friday for the murder of Garrett Foster. The Army sergeant broke down after hearing the verdict. Perry shot and killed Foster during a Black Lives Matter protest in the summer of 2020. After the trial, Foster's family expressed their relief.
We're happy with the verdict. Very sorry for his family as well. There's no winners in this. And just glad it's over.
But this case is far from over. The very next day, Texas Governor Greg Abbott tweeted his vow to pardon Perry as quickly as possible and argued Texas has one of the strongest stand your ground laws of self-defense that cannot be nullified by a jury or a progressive district attorney. In the weeks after the murder of George Floyd, Black Lives Matter protests erupted all over the country. Garrett Foster joined the protests in Austin.
What you got it out tonight?
They don't let us march in the streets anymore, so got to practice some of our rights.
Daniel Perry was a rideshare driver and had just dropped off a customer near a BLM protest on the downtown streets. Prosecutors said Perry ran a red light to turn into the crowd. This is where accounts differ. At the time, some witnesses say Perry deliberately instigated the altercation.
The driver intentionally and aggressively accelerated their vehicle into a crowd of people. That is extremely clear.
The lead investigator testified that video showed Perry did not accelerate but slowed down. Perry says Garrett Foster was carrying an assault-style rifle, which he was legally allowed to do, and pointed the gun at him. Perry fired his handgun several times at Foster, killing him. Perry's lawyers call it self-defense. But in the trial, prosecutors pointed to texts and social media posts Daniel Perry made that summer that suggested Perry was looking for a fight. In one, Perry wrote, "He might kill a few people on my way to work. They are rioting outside my apartment complex." Someone wrote back, "Can you legally do so?" Perry responded, "If they attack me or try to pull me out of my car, then yes." The Texas jury didn't buy the self-defense argument and issued a guilty verdict on the murder charge. Perry's lawyer says they're disappointed and will appeal.
A suspect in the shooting of a woman and her 2 young daughters in San Antonio charged with capital murder. San Antonio police confirmed to KSAT that one of the children died. Authorities say 2 other children, 8 and 11-year-old boys, able to escape the home uninjured. The shooting suspect, identified as 50-year-old Stephen Michael Clare, he also faces 2 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
This is infuriating. With all of the resources and effort that we've put into assisting domestic violence victims and trying to prevent these things from happening, here we are tonight with a 1-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 28-year-old mom shot by her intimate partner.
Early in the investigation, police labeled this as a domestic violence case, and now one of the charges against the suspect has been upgraded to capital murder.
Plaintiffs in a medicinal abortion case have until tonight to respond to requests for a hold on an order that would suspend FDA approval of an abortion drug.
Now, if no action is taken, the medication in question could become unavailable nationwide by the end of the week.
The clock is ticking for mifepristone. That's the first pill in the 2-dose regimen that can terminate a pregnancy through 10 weeks gestation.
This is a pill that's been around for more than 20 years, I believe 22 years. It's been used in 60 countries.
However, Texas federal judge Matthew Kaczmarek ruled the FDA should suspend approval of the drug, saying the agency didn't consider the trauma and stress women can suffer from ending a pregnancy.
We are ready to fight. This is going to be a long fight. We understand this. We stand by FDA's approval.
Dozens of officials from biotech and pharmaceutical companies signed an open letter backing the FDA's right to, quote, regulate safe, effective medicines for every American. Republican Representative Nancy Mace agrees, even though she considers herself pro-life.
I think that 90% would be okay with listening to the FDA rather than a judge who used an old law that was determined unconstitutional by the Supreme Court.
As the legal matter over the judge's ruling lies in limbo, abortion access varies significantly across the U.S.
Here in Texas, we have a heartbeat bill that was passed, and I think it's important that states dictate their futures, and we have to have the courts uphold these.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
The White House did say it will, quote, always follow the law, unquote, in regard to if the FDA should ignore the ruling from Judge Kaczmarek. One person in critical condition and an unknown number of cows dead after an explosion and fire at the South Fork Dairy in Dimmitt. Authorities tell KVII only one person was in the dairy building at the time of the explosion. Authorities say fire from the explosion spread into the dairy cow holding pens. An unknown number of dairy cows were killed. The cause of the explosion and fire under investigation.
Now, today, in honor of National Pet Day, we want to know, did you adopt or shop for your pet? According to these results, 65% say adopt, 10% shopped, 8% said neither, and 17% said I don't have a pet. I actually did neither. I found my pet.
You did?
I did.
Wow.
I found my pet on a little road. Not on the road, near a dumpster. Let's be
honest. Wow.
So,
good job.
Thank you. So shout out to Drax. But don't forget, come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to participate, and we will have an update on 25 News Now at 10.
Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 6. More than 11 million people have fled to Poland from Ukraine since Russia's invasion.
Also ahead, investors are on high alert following recent bank failures.
If you think you're paying too much for car insurance, start paying less and saving more. Visit BrettLoya.com.
Victoria Eye Center in 25 News Now brings to you every Monday a Vision Health segment to learn about eye diseases and possible treatments. Tune into the segment or go to crossroadstoday.com to learn more about eye health, brought to you by Victoria Eye Center.
This is how legends are made.
Chevy Silverado and new Silverado HD. Choose your own path with the #1 best-selling retail full-size pickup and see where it takes you. Find new roads. It's Chevy truck season. Get 0% financing plus make no monthly payments for 90 days on all 2023 Silverado 1500 pickups or get $22.50 total cash allowance on a 2023 Silverado with a turbo high output engine. Chevy drives Texas. Find new roads.
Listen, do you hear that? Shh.
Miss T? Who's that?
They wanna know. Mom.
That's right, baby.
Y'all got the greatest teacher in the world.
Hi, Miss Grandma T.
Boy, oh, I'm nobody's granny.
Just figured out where I know Janine's mom from. The club. Cool people should have cool babies. It's not right what happened to that woman.
Period.
More than 11 million people have fled to Poland from Ukraine since Russia's invasion. Around 87% of those crossing the border are women and children. At the beginning of April, the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees reported that just over 10.6 million people had crossed the border. There are currently more than 1.5 million Ukrainian refugees currently living in Poland, and more than 3.5 million Ukrainian refugees settling in other European countries.
Investors and regulators are on high alert for signs of trouble in the financial system following recent bank failures.
Now they're honing in on the downturn in the $20 trillion U.S. commercial real estate market.
The COVID-19 pandemic brought a major change to how many businesses operate.
For so many people, not going to the office as much as they have before has had a really seismic impact on commercial real estate.
And a potential problem for America's banks.
There's no question that there is some risk in the system associated with these changes simply because so much has changed.
Across the U.S., offices sit vacant or underused. Average occupancy is less than half of where it was in March of 2020, according to data from security provider Castle. And that is dragging down the value of these properties.
The real question is for the owners of these properties, whether they are experiencing financial distress or will in the future.
The problem, banks lend significant money to this sector. Goldman Sachs estimates that 55% of U.S. office loans sit on banks' balance sheets. The decrease in values puts more strain on already stressed out banks.
We're well aware of the concentrations people have in commercial real estate.
Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell remained confident when asked about the danger posed by commercial real estate last month.
The banking system is strong, it is sound, it is resilient, it's well capitalized.
Alrighty, grab your cell phone and scan this QR code. This is our quick response code to download the Crossroads Today app. You can get breaking news alerts and vote in our viewer polls, get the latest news, weather, and sports, and learn all about our ongoing contest. You can also submit news tips, videos, and photos. Here's Mac.
Thank you very much. Got some very nice little clouds out there. You probably noticed them. Also, the temperatures are only in the mid-70s today. All that, could we continue that for a while? A couple of months maybe? Probably not. We'll talk about your weekend forecast as we take a look at your 7-day coming up in just a moment.
Join happy Optimum customers who love their fast Optimum 300 meg internet for as low as $30 a month. Paul says it's reliable internet, great speed, reasonable pricing. Thanks, Paul. We think you're great too. Plus, Optimum has faster download speeds than AT&T nationwide. Get Optimum 300 meg internet for $30 a month with Optimum Mobile for as low as $15 a month. For your special offer, call 866-9-OPTIMUM. Go to Optimum.com or visit a store today. Get closer, go farther with Optimum.
Stay up to date with what's happening in the Crossroads by downloading the Crossroads Today mobile app. You'll get instant alerts to your phone or tablet the minute breaking news or weather happens. Only the free Crossroads Today mobile app features weather updates for local sports. The Crossroads Today app gives you the ability to stream our daily newscasts when you're on the go and share pictures or tips straight to our newsroom and so much more. Brought to you locally by Prosperity Bank with 12 locations serving the Crossroads area.
Hello, my name is Maclovio Perez. My friends call me Mac. I'm the new Chief Meteorologist at 25 News Now. In the weather world, our job is to save lives and property. Service is very important, and the people need to know you, they need to like you, and they need to trust you. And if they don't do any one of those, then you're not going to be on TV for very long. There's my forecast for the summer. Very hot and a very active storm season. Write that down. Let me know how I did at the end of the season.
There's a powerful beast said to be roaming these woods. And if you listen carefully, you can hear it. And sometimes you can see its tracks. And every now and then, you get a quick glimpse of it.
Grandpa telling his stories again.
The 2023 Toyota Tundra. Better trucks make better stories. Toyota. Let's go places.
Breastfeeder, birthing body. By being more trans-inclusive, are we erasing women?
Women are female and men are male. It's okay to say that.
Having female anatomy and being a woman are two different things.
Well, what is a woman then?
I'm a birthing parent.
Only female humans actually give birth.
Is this a valid debate, and is it going too far?
We are born biological women. We are different. We are different.
New Dr. Phil.
Welcome back, everybody. You know, 77 degrees is a high temperature this time of year. Is really kind of delightful. I'm enjoying it. You know, we went into the upper 80s in February. So to have that today is good. The reason for it is that we're getting a northeast wind. There's a developing storm in the Gulf that we're watching, and we did have a few showers out in the Palacios area, as you see right about there. There's Matagorda Bay. Of course, we didn't get anything in the city, but on the other side of Port Lavaca, maybe a sprinkle or two. Most of the activity was up in this area. What I'm talking about is a very interesting development. There's a low pressure system. You know, you might say, oh, is it a developing tropical storm? No, I'm not going to call it that, but it is a circulation. You can see it right about there, and that is putting us on the northeast side, or rather on the back side of the storm, which is giving us that northeast wind, which is cooler and drier, and of course also ushered all those little showers into our area. But the real heavy stuff is basically from Louisiana out into Florida, and they're not complaining. You know why? They've been in a drought too. So all of a sudden they're getting a pretty good downpour, and that low is going to be the big story for about 2-3 days. Now, as Don mentioned earlier, the warning for the Guadalupe River in Victoria has lowered. So now we're watching, this is for Bloomington. You see it right about there. Okay, it peaked at 24 feet, which is, you know, moderate flooding. And that's today, and this is tomorrow. And that would be on Thursday. Friday? Thursday. Today is Tuesday.
Today's Tuesday, yeah.
Tomorrow's Wednesday. Thursday. Yes, thank you very much. All right. So by Thursday, you can see how it's going to be dropping pretty significantly. In fact, by Friday and the weekend, it should be obviously back into its banks. Now, for those of you in Bloomington, along the port, and all the way down to San Antonio Bay and Seadrift, just know that it's going to be dropping rapidly, but also it's still very high right about now. So let's take a look at what else is happening around the country. All of a sudden, we've got some quiet weather and warming temperatures in the Midwest. You'd think everybody would be so happy. No, they're not. You know why? It's so warm, the snow is melting, and the snow is melting is causing flooding. So you can't win for losing around here. This frontal system here will be slowly approaching our area by the time we get to the weekend. But this, as I mentioned earlier, is kind of the big deal. People are watching it going, okay, it's not a tropical system. It is a cutoff low. It is producing a lot of weather. It'll be a big weather maker for all of the southeast. And as you see, by the time we get to Thursday and on into Friday, this front does come into Texas. Now, it should be here probably Saturday night. I expect a few showers, but I'm certainly nothing like last week. That was a 3-day event. This one will be real quick as it passes through our area, so any additional rain will not be a significant problem. And of course, it was very nice that we had these days of dry weather where we could actually, let everything sort of settle down. Still a little muddy out there, but be cautious. All right, tomorrow, after that little rain thing that was down in Palacios moves away, 77, 79, then 82. Saturday is warm and windy before the front comes through, 30% chance of showers, and then after that, more 70-degree temperatures. I am enjoying it. That's your 7-day forecast. Don't forget, we've got this QR code. Want you to scan it with your phone and put Crossroads Today on your phone, and we can reach out to you with any kind of news, weather, and sports that you might need. So that's it from the weather front. We'll toss it back to Karina.
Mac, thank you so much. And now here's Sports Director Gina Perez.
Thanks, Karina. The All-State Awards are out for the Texas High School Coaches Association, and we see which athletes made the list after the break.
Folks, I've got a message for you. But not all of you, just those of you who are pro-Earth. If you're anti-Earth, this isn't for you. Anti-Earth people, you can go ahead and change the channel. But the pro-Earth people, the people who are fans of this planet we're standing on or sitting on our couch today, guys, I need your help. Keep Victoria Beautiful is having a cleanup for Earth Day. April 22nd, that morning, we're gonna go clean up all around Victoria. Make this place we call home just a little bit nicer. Last time we had 400 of your friends, neighbors, high school baseball players, teachers, nurses there to help clean up. And frankly, we want to do 500 this time. The more people we have, the better the city's going to look. Go to keepvictoriabeautiful.org to sign up and learn more. Bring a team. It's going to be a great Saturday morning. Look forward to seeing you there.
Victory GMC is the favorite in the Crossroads because our staff has years of experience and they know how to make their customers smile.
Walter Dixon, 32 years.
Linda Briggs, 38 years.
Jose Garza, 24 years. Jake Hargis, 23 years.
Houston Polyvore, 3 years.
Come let the right people give you a world-class buying experience. We think you'll call it victory.
When you don't keep your eyes on what you're doing, it can be downright dangerous to you and others, especially when you're behind the wheel. Put your phone down. Heads up, Texas.
Attention parents! If you are working, looking for work, attending school, or in training for a better career, did you know that you may qualify for child care assistance through Workforce Solutions Golden Crescent? Child care assistance can help you make those ends meet and is just a phone call away. Some guidelines apply. If you live in Calhoun, DeWitt, Goliad, Gonzales, Jackson, Lavaca, or Victoria County, call 578-0341 to schedule your appointment to learn more. Workforce Solutions Golden Crescent, working for you. Workforce Solutions is an equal opportunity employer program.
At a Crossroads, the University of Houston and Victoria baseball team split its series against the Jarvis Christian Bulldogs in spectacular fashion. The Jaguars traveled to Tornado Field at Concordia University and walked it off in Game 1. Infielder Hayden Leopold took advantage of the spot he was in with runners in scoring position on second and third. He had a shot by the third baseman to bring in the tying and game-winning run to win by 1. In Game 2, the game would go into extra innings. Both teams were tied at 9 going into extra innings, and things looked grim with the Bulldogs scoring 2 runs in the top of the 9th. UHD did fight back in the final inning of play, but came up short by 1 run. The Jaguars started Game 3 off hot, scoring 4 runs in the bottom of the innings, but defense only gave up 2 runs in the entire 9 innings of play, while the Jags scored 6 runs. Victoria native Caden Feacock hit his 6th home run of the year, which is his 2nd homer in consecutive games. UHV will host Louisiana Christian University for a 3-game series starting at noon this Saturday. This weekend will be full of festivities, including Senior Day on Saturday. The Texas High School Coaches Association and Coaches Education Academic All-State recipients came out today, and multiple boys and girls soccer athletes made the list. From the Victoria East Titans, Aiden Gonzalez received an honorable mention award, and a pair of Palacios soccer players received awards as well. Andrew Acosta makes the second team list, and Daniel Parga makes the honorable mention list. Victoria West, Caleb Skiba makes the elite team. A pair of girl El Campo Ricebirds both make the honorable mention list as well, with the THSCA's All-State recipients. Congratulations to all 6 athletes who made the teams. The NBA playoffs technically do not start till next weekend or this upcoming weekend, but the NBA play-in starts tonight. In the Eastern Conference, the first play-in game is at 6:30 between Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks versus Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat. The winner of this game will play the number 2 seeded Boston Celtics, while the loser will play the winner of the Chicago Bulls and the Toronto Raptors tomorrow. The winner and loser will play the top seeded Milwaukee Bucks. The second play-in game tonight, featuring LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers taking on Anthony Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves. The winner of this game will go on to play the Memphis Grizzlies in round 1, and the loser will play the winner of the New Orleans Pelicans and the Oklahoma City Thunder tomorrow, and the winner will play the top-seeded Denver Nuggets. Now it's getting down to the nitty-gritty of the NBA basketball season, and of course my team, the Lakers, I want them to win it all. But Don and Karina, y'all are both Houston Rockets fans, so do y'all have any picks on the NBA Finals?
We're going to have to say the Rockets,
y'all are both wearing red, too.
We are wearing red, and as much as we love, I'm going to speak for myself here, as much as I love the Rockets, I know that this year might not be their year.
Well, I predict the Rockets will not win the NBA championship
this
year. And I don't know. The next thing with the Rockets is to figure out who the next coach will be.
Maybe they'll win the lottery. Who knows?
Yeah, well, maybe they'll win the scratch-off game. The Rockets' winning streak has been like that.
It's been tough for them, but I hope they bounce back. Yeah. Alrighty, well, thanks, Gina. We're back in a moment. If you're planning a wedding soon, Oscar Mayer says it will start hosting weddings in its first Wiener Mobile of Love.
Did you hear about this, Cal?
I did.
You know what I'm going to talk about?
I do, because I have to travel around snowstorms.
Oh, I was going to talk about that.
Oh, you're not going to talk about that? What are you going to talk about?
Because I'm so excited about this.
Next live, Christy Metz and the Crossovers' Derek Luke. And Friday, it's Ryan's farewell celebration.
It's remarkable to be able to sit in this chair
with special guest, First Lady Jill Biden.
Make your first move with battery power made by Steel. Right now, save $50 on the FSA 57 battery trimmer. Real Steel. Find yours.
As of today, in a big way, we have inaugurated abcnews.com.
A lot has changed in our world since Peter made that announcement. But what hasn't changed is the commitment to groundbreaking reporting and innovation at abcnews.com. And here's to everything ahead.
She was like a mother to me. She helped us in a time of need.
Don't be stupid. She's not your mother.
An aunt props up her niece's family.
I wouldn't say it was a loan, ma'am. It was a loan. You paid part of it back.
Until she was in need herself.
Your Honor, she changed her attitude when she lost her job.
When she lost her job, she needed money.
We've done stuff for her also, not monetary, though.
Like what? Did you give her blood? Did you give her a kidney?
Next, Judge Judy.
Sunday, all eyes on the Trump case with rising tensions and fallout. Could he actually be indicted? How will this affect his plans for 2024? And the TikTok CEO front and center. Will Congress ban the controversial app? Plus the Powerhouse Roundtable Sunday on ABC's This Week.
Texas, now's the time to gear up and save on a new Ford SUV. Get great deals on our most capable lineup. Now with a great in-stock selection to choose from, like the spacious and tech-savvy Ford Expedition, or Ford Explorer and Bronco Sport. Ford SUVs, #1 in brand loyalty. Drive Escape now with 0% financing plus $1,000 cash, plus up to $500 accessories cash, plus complimentary maintenance.
Ford is the best in Texas.
Finally tonight, for a limited time, you could get married in a Wienermobile. Oscar Mayer says it will host weddings in its first Wienermobile of Love this coming weekend. And where else would the event take place but Las Vegas? The company says couples can book a 30-minute spot online or join the wait list if demand is too high. Oscar Mayer says it will foot the on-site bill, provide a photographer, and even have hot doggers on hand to serve as witnesses. Now, I think most couples probably wouldn't think that a wedding like that would cut the mustard, but I think that some couples would relish the thought of having a Wienermobile wedding. That's two.
Karina, do you think that's a romantic way to get married?
It would make for a great story. Okay, it would make for a great story. Imagine years later, generations, you know, your grandkids ask you, where was the wedding? And you say, in a sausage Wienermobile. I mean, that'd be a great story.
Well, great stuff.
Not for me, though. Not for me, though.
Not for you, right?
No.
You want the white dress.
I want the whole thing, the whole shebang. But, you know, for an extended cousin, I feel like that would be a great thing.
Uh-oh. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Anyway, folks, we got some very pleasant weather for the next couple of days, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Only 77 degrees tomorrow. For a little front on Saturday, we'll bring in some showers, but nothing significant. And we continue with the mild, comfortable weather for April, even early next week.
All right, thank you, Mac. Thanks for joining us. Streaming 24/7, Crossroads Today Plus.
And we'll see you tonight on 25 News Now at 10.